So, hey guys, today we're going to be talking about my first impressions of the Centurion support. I've kind of seen it being played in the event, the dual trial. So, my takeaway is if we start the combo now, it looks like something like this. So, we start with, well, if we're thinking in the context of peer, anyways, we'll start with stand up Centurion, let's say. We'll send a card. We'll put Trudea in the back row, special summon Trudea. Trudea puts another card into the back row. So in this case, it'll be Primera. Primera will then special summon itself. And then we will then grab Wake Up Centurion, which we can activate because Trudea is in our back row. And then we're going to do Primera effect. Or no, not Primera effect. Wake Up Centurion effect. To then special summon. In this case, we'll do level 4. And this will allow us to then go ahead and synchro summon into Centuria Primera Primus, which then grabs us. In this case, it'll be Emblema Oath. And then we can go Oath effect to place a Centurion from our deck to the spell and trap zone as a continuous trap. And then in this case, we will now grab Atri, which we will now special summon. And this will give us a draw. Yup, that's about it. And then off of this amazing draw, we will then be able to probably do nothing else because we use like our starters and stuff. So then we'll go Atri plus Primera Primus to make Auxilla. So all of this extra stuff that we did here, just for one draw. And yeah, that's about it, right? Except now, next turn, instead of setting the Primera in the back row here, we can set the Atri instead. So we can do Atri's effect to draw, but again. So in main phase, we can do the same Crimson Dragon play, but now Atri will give us an additional draw on top of that instead. So we are drawing 2 cards. So if we perform this as kind of like just a 1-card combo off of stand up Centur-ion, let's see, we go from 5 cards to 4 cards just by activating the card. Sending a card puts us at 3, and then Atri will draw us 2, putting us at 5 cards in hand again. Epic. And I guess we could also grab like I guess Phalanx or Awakening, but if we are setting Atri into the back row, I guess it kind of has to be it has to be kind of Phalanx unless we use Wake Up Centurion's effect to send specifically Bonds, which is kind of a brick, so that whenever we summon Auxilla, we can set both Atri and Primera, so we can then go Primera effect to grab Emeth, which is kind of also a brick, but you know, we can grab Emeth to put a guy back into the back row so that we can have a guy in the back row for, I guess, True Awakening. So amount of interactions, exactly the same. Amount of starters, exactly the same. Amount of bricks, plus 1, essentially, for an extra draw. And of course, this card's actually like kind of useless. So if I open Atri, I would have to normal summon Atri. Or we have the option of, I guess in this case, discarding Atri with stand up Centurion. We can activate it later, or we can like use Bonds to do funny things with it, kinda, right? And that's about it. But you'd have to play Bonds to begin with, which we haven't even talked about. But alright, I guess if you use Bonds, that's something. And yeah, we can Bonds to put Atri in the back row to maybe get a draw. Or, you know, we could just do the same play as before, and it's not much different. You know, I've seen this before. This isn't my first time seeing this. Oh, summon, yada yada. Oh hey, jam extreme session. I will now draw 2 cards. Yup. This is essentially just Punk 2. That's one way to look at it, I suppose. So, first impressions of the Centurion support. It's okay, I guess. It's not like the greatest. This isn't like life-changing. It doesn't do that much. It is nice just having an additional tuner for some plays, sometimes maybe. But if I recall correctly, the other line would be like a lot weirder. So if we start with Trudea, that'd be, I guess, like normal summon Trudea, place Primera. Primera special summons itself, and then Primera can place Stand Up. Stand Up will now place Gargoyle. Gargoyle will special summon itself as a level 4 monster. So we can go 4+4 to make 8 to make Primus. And then we can grab Emblema Oath to then set or place the Atri in the back. Special summoning Atri to draw, and you also have not Auxiliary, Gargoyle back in your hand again. Because it has the effect to add itself, and it can special summon itself from hand by sending a card. I don't remember which you send, but we'll figure it out later. So we can do that if we want, but for the most part, 4, 8 here, make 12, go Auxilla, and we can also draw 1 card. And then here in this case, do we have anything here? Thinking. Yeah, I think that there's not that much difference. We special summon the Gargoyle, right? And yeah, I don't see much else to do after this. We can bonds, I guess, potentially. Bonds to place back a guy. But we don't have Wake Up, right? Yeah, we don't have access to Wake Up. So we just randomly have the Gargoyle in hand now. Okay. I don't think we can do anything with Gargoyle. Mara Primus doesn't really do anything. This is like the same, almost. But I guess here for this, now this is going to be like very slightly better, I think. Maybe not even at all, depending on like how you feel about this. But Atri will get you the draw, and then we can make, I guess, would it still be Auxilla? We could make Legacia here, actually. It's about the same, but probably still Auxilla. Grabbing either True Awakening or Phalanx. Or if you're feeling particularly psychopathic, I guess you could do Bonds, technically. But from here, if we did have Wake Up, now because we sequence it differently and have Gargoyle in hand, we can go Gargoyle to send, I think. Then we'd Wake Up, Phalanx, bring back Auxilla or something, and we can make a Link to, maybe. But that, like, you basically made this play anyways. If you didn't have Atri, it's the same. You just draw 1. And then next turn, if you place Atri, you can draw again, I guess. I think you still need like an extra body from somewhere, which is like weird, but maybe manageable. So yeah, we're looking at, I guess, basically the Punk thing. It's literally just Punk, but now you have Omni Negates instead of bounce back like 4 cards or whatever it was for Punk bounce back. And then you have the trap effects as well. It's literally about the same amount of negates as well, and about the same amount of draws. Except now you can also sometimes, maybe, if you have the extender, we could technically also do Legacia. Yup. Legacia effect to draw. To draw 3 cards. I mean, like, drawing 3 cards is not, like, utterly useless, but, it's something for sure. If you were feeling particularly psychopathic, I guess you would combine the two, because you don't get like severely locked by either of these. So you could like do your Punk combo, draw 2 off of Extreme Session, do your Centur-ion combo. Draw your like +2 or 3. And then I'm not sure what you're doing from that point because you're running like Punk Centur-ion. But you know, you could do something like that, I guess. In terms of like sealing, it doesn't really help. In terms of follow-up, you already had follow-up, so that doesn't really change anything in that regard. I guess you might be able to do more things on your opponent's turn if you happen to draw into hand traps situationally, and if your hand traps are also conveniently relevant. So just for example, let's say my opponent is on stun. The first action they take is normal summon Fossil Dino. So, yeah, can't activate my guys in the back row. Then maybe they flip like on a Solemn Strike or something. They activate Solemn Strike. Who knows? They activate something, and then we could end up losing from like this position technically. It'd be like kind of convoluted, but not technically impossible, right? Yeah. So if I were to give this a number for the support and my first impressions of the sport, unless I'm missing something because I've played this like fairly pure, right? I would rate this support a solid 6 or 7 out of 10. Like, it's support for sure. That's not deniable, I guess. But it doesn't really change that much, sadly. And yeah, that's about my only impression about the support. It doesn't change much. It doesn't do that much either. And technically, this is kind of a Garnet. And I can recognize support like this because, you know, I played Zombie World before, you know? Changshi, this is a bit better than Changshi, you know, being a level 4, so you can actually normal summon it if you open it. But I mean, even if you open this, this is genuinely not a monster, very much. This is no different than, for example, normal summoning the Bestial Aluber. Like, straight up, no effect. You just use this guy as like a level 4 tuner. That's about it with the Bestial Aluber, right? Same kind of deal here. Pretty much the exact same in regards to Centur-ion, right? So, yeah, that's all I got for you guys today. And I don't know if Centurion's getting any more support, but Centurion's, like, I don't think it needs to be that much stronger. It's kind of decent already for, like, a number of reasons, but the support was just not very interesting to me. Doesn't really add too much here. So, yeah. Oh, yeah, of course, I forgot to mention the, this Synchro 8 tuner. Kind of also useless here. This adds an Emblema card from your deck or graveyard to your hand. Then you can destroy 2 cards, 1 on each field. So that effect, yeah, it's not like broken that much. Because this only triggers on Synchro Summon. So if we summon this on turn 1, it really doesn't do anything. This just enables you to get the 1 draw off of the Atri. Well, that is assuming you didn't start with Emblema Oath. Kind of forgot to mention that. Because if you started with Emblema Oath, you just don't get the draw. Which is fine, I guess. And then it kind of makes Primera kind of pointless unless you're also playing, I guess, Emblema Salvation. So you have like a search that does kind of something. But I guess you can grab the second Emblema Oath to make Legacia maybe next turn. You can like place Atri, I guess, with Emblema Oath and then special summon Atri next turn. Which is like a draw you wouldn't have gotten otherwise, maybe. So I guess you could technically do that, and I guess you can search Wake Up, I guess, to get another non-tuner. So it might add up mathematically. Like, I mean, I'm not going to bother checking. I'll just assume it does. Not that it, like, matters too much either way. But, yeah. That's all I got for you guys today, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye.